unashamedly human with a diagnosis that is only a part of who I am.
It's Tuesdays with Tawana. Let's get it. You ready? Let's go. Hey, what's good, beloveds? It is Tuesdays with Tawana with your host and your curator, Dr. Tad, in the building on today. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Come on in the building and let us get it poppin'. This is a space and a place where we come together to chop it up, to talk about current events, and then to talk about the theme of the day. And I don't know why my screen seems like, I don't know what's happening. But anyway, we're going to keep it moving. So we talk about current events and the theme of the day, and you can engage with me through the chat. Greetings, questions, comments, input, whatever. I will insert your voice into this narrative. For those who are joining us for the first time, welcome, whether it is live or later on your various podcast platforms, Facebook Live, YouTube, LinkedIn. It's all streaming live, and you can, of course, catch the recording on any of those pages. LJ is in the building today with the Purple Heart, which, I just love and adore, period. Love it, love it, love it. So, I hope everyone is well, mind, body, and soul, as well as you can be, and in your definition of wellness and wholeness and healing and being. Just being, not doing, but being. So I am always grateful to share this womanist space with you. This womanist space is because we center Black women and Black beloveds for our liberation. And if you are down for the liberation and know how to center Black women and Black beloveds, come on board. We rolling. The train has left the station, and we are embodying, we are enlivening, we are manifesting liberation like never before. And the revolution at times is not televised. So there are times when, we need to slip back and congregate and converse with our smaller groups, who then take it to other groups, and we just keep it going. We keep it going. Harriet Tubman mode. This is what we do. So we're going to chop it up for about the next 25 minutes or so. Time goes by so fast, and you can always listen to this again on your podcast platforms while you're driving in your car, while you're at work. I would encourage, if you are listening in a public space, that you have on your headphones so that you can just be centered and not be distracted by the looky-loos and, the nosy beloveds who are not down for the liberation. So let's get it started. Let's get it started. So first, I want to say, this weekend, I look forward to some time off with my family, not necessarily celebrating the inception of how this holiday came about, but definitely celebrating and gratitude and Thanksgiving 365 24/7. So this is an enhanced way where we're all off at the same time and we can chop it up and have good food. And I think I might go to the movies this weekend. I just might go see Gladiator 2 because if y'all don't know me, Gladiator and 300, I'm not into those movies on a regular, but there are some movies that just stay with me and I can watch it over and over. And I hear that Gladiator 2 is popping. So I am going to check that out. I may check out Wicked. I am not one to watch The Wizard of Oz. I watched The Wiz. And so I did not see Wicked on Broadway by my personal preference, my choice. And I want to support Cynthia Erivo and see what the big screen has to offer. I do love musicals, so I just might check it out, but I heard it's a bit intense. It's a bit intense. So we just gonna leave that there. No spoilers. I haven't seen it yet, but just listening to interviews and reviews of the movie, I heard that it's pretty good. So I just might check it out. And I might even do it on a solo tip. I don't know. We might have to do that. So yeah, some other things that are going on. Y'all, I love The View. I watch The View every day. I schedule my appointments and meetings as much as I can around the 11 o'clock Eastern time hour. That's just what I do. And I am becoming quite annoyed with Alyssa. Alyssa does a lot of gaslighting for me. And, I know, The View is The View, right? You have different political views, you have different levels of maturity, you have different levels of lived experiences, and I don't like the way Alyssa be coming for Sonny. Let me just say that. I don't like it. And when Sonny sits back, my cousin was telling me this the other day, when she sits back and puts her arms on the armchair and just purses her lips just a little to let you know that she is not feeling what's happening right now. I absolutely relate on so many levels because Alyssa does a lot of gaslighting. Alyssa also speaks from a very privileged standpoint. So it bothers me when Sonny or Whoopi talk about their lived experiences as Black and Latina women and Afro-Latina women. Alyssa comes in, well, I don't think that's, and I don't think, nobody asked you what you think about my lived experience. Like, talk about your experience. And first of all, you didn't talk to every single person across America that voted for President-elect number 75. That's number one. So, two, you have not talked to every Black woman who did not vote for President-elect 47. So, your opinion should be that of your lived experiences, right? And then it won't be gaslighting. It's your lived experience, and you're not demeaning or dismissing the feelings of Black beloveds. Full stop. So I'm getting a little tight about that. I do remember what we had though at The View with Megan. So it's not at that point. And I love Whoopi because she will shut stuff down in a minute. Like one time, Sonny and Alyssa was going at it, and Whoopi was like, we going to break, came back, they started up again, and she was like, don't make me shut this down again, which means during the break, she had to shut it down. So I just shout out to the Black women that insert their lived experiences as diverse and dynamic and magical and mystical and divine as it is into a narrative that often ignores us, silences us, marginalizes us. Thank you for, stepping in and making it happen. Danielle. Yes, Whoopi is the truth. She don't play. You better say that. Yes. Anybody know Whoopi? Send this to her. Tell her that she got a village and a tribe that loves her immensely, along with many other people, because she planted seeds for a lot of people who are in the business today, had real conversations that you don't see on social media, that you don't see splattered all over the place, those intimate conversations that you carry with you, on and on. So it exemplifies how we need to be in these times. So let's talk about these times for a moment. So our theme, for today is I am built for this. This is not a strong Black woman motif. This is not a trope. This is not, this is not those things that people try to put on us where we don't feel all the feelings, or we end up ascribing to this very linear, one-way, white ideology of supremacy. This is not what this is about. So if you tuned in for that, you can go ahead and tune off. Because when I talk about I am built for this, meaning we are built for this, because we are Ubuntu, we are built for this. And what is this? What is your this? We have experienced some trying times in our lifetime. I'm 54, so I'm touching on a bit of the millennials, touching a bit on the Gen Xers, because my children are millennials. I'm touching a bit on whatever's after millennials, Gen Z. I think my grandson is 15. So I'm kind of on this spectrum. I'm tapping a little into the boomers because my mentors and people that I go to, I pray with, I talk to. So I'm coming with an experience that is rooted in my generation as a Gen Xer, but as one who can tap in and have conversations with those around my generation. So when I talk about I am built for this and the times that we are going through, I can talk about, hey, Dr. Jamie in the building. What's up, Doc? Good to see you. Good to see you. When I talk about I am built for this, and I'm so glad Dr. Jamie is on, because it is not about, this self-ascribed, I got this, I'm always going to get through it, I'm this strong Black woman, nothing can break me, nothing can shake me, I can, every time this country calls on us, I'm there, I'm going to fix this. That every time a church is in ruins, they call in a Black woman. Every time an organization or a corporation is falling apart, they're calling on a Black woman. And yeah, I might be built for this, for me, for my purpose, for my design, for my community, for my village, and for my tribe. But what you will not do is then use me to the point where it's killing me. to the point where it is taking me outside of my natural village mentality. It is taking me outside of my communal love. It's taking me outside of my collective work and responsibility. It's taking me outside of my divine hope, my divine prowess, my divine being, my divine words, my divine prayers. We are human and divine, for if we are truly believe that we are created in the image and likeness of God, and we are called to follow Jesus, that means that there is a semblance of humanity and divinity that is intertwined that makes me whole. So when I talk about I am built for this, I was actually inspired by my own sermon. Credit yourself, Dr. Tag. Credit yourself. Last Sunday, I preached Beyond the Noise, and it was from John 18:33 through 37, where, Jesus is taken to Pilate, and they were deciding what they're going to do with him. And Pilate keeps asking in various iterations, are you the king? Are you the king of the Jews? But I thought you said you were king of the Jews. I heard on the street and through social media that you were the king of the Jews, so it must be true. And so that's where we were. And Beyond the Noise for me was how Jesus had to go across Kidron Valley to the Garden of Gethsemane, right? So Kidron Valley is actually what Jesus refers to in the Lord's Prayer as the valley of the shadow of death. So I can only imagine all of the noise or even the eerie silence, not the beautiful meditative silence, but the eerie silence, the darkness, the really trusting in the path that you are going, and all of the unknown and all of the noise and the self-doubt. Am I going to make it through the valley? Am I going to survive? Am I going to be able to do this? No, I can't do this. These limiting beliefs, and you're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. The noise. And Jesus and his disciples still make it to the Garden of Gethsemane. But just imagine you go through all of this stuff, right? All of this stuff. And when you finally make it to a place that is deemed a place of peace and prayer and serenity, regrouping, talking with your people in a safe and sacred place, you are met with Judas. And then the rest of the story. So when I talk about I am built for this, we must identify what is our this. And being built for this, what does that look like? And what tools do I have to make sure that the same tools that built this divine Black beloved are the same tools that I am using to dismantle the master's house? So I don't want the tools of supremacy. I don't want the tools of racism. I don't want the tools of fear mongering. I don't want the tools of limiting beliefs. I don't want the tools of self-doubt. I don't want the tools of falling into westernized thought. I want the tools that my mama's mama gave me. The prayers, the plans, the hope, the strength, even in what the Western world would define as weakness, but weakness for us is a part of strength, because sometimes you got to be a bit amenable and be able to bend and to get through said situation, because if you're so rigid, you're going to break. So you got to be able to bend like a palm tree in the middle of a hurricane. A palm tree can bend all the way down to the ground and bounce back up. That's how we are built, beloveds. That's how we're built. So when we talk about being built for this, for such a time as this. There are times when we are going to have to face some losses. There are times we are going to, Lord have mercy. There are times we're going to have to face some losses and some challenging times. And always in the back of our minds, I think it's called the amygdala or something. It's a small piece of your brain that holds on to that memory that says, Tawana, you will not give into the noise of people defining who you are based on how they see themselves in the mirror. No, you are going to be like the prophet and honorable the late Audre Lorde, who says, if I didn't define myself for myself, I would be crunched into other people's fantasies and eaten alive. So I have to define who I am and whose I am as I am experiencing this. Right now, we are in a time where, for me, this is for me, I'm like Whoopi. I'm sitting back with my wine, because that's the only thing I could drink. And I only drink it like once or twice a week. Just full transparency, because I'm still healing, in active treatment every 3 weeks. But I'm built for this. I'm built for this. So I'm sitting back. I cannot be overly worried and concerned by this fear mongering, because that is a tactic and a tool of the enemy to get you to be afraid of something that does not even exist yet. It's an idea. It's a thought. It's a vision. That means that it can change. If I sit back and allow and co-create what I am built for to get me through these trying times, to get me through these times of hate and lies and sexual assault and classism and totally negating what this country was now this country was never great, but this country was supposed to be for give me you're poor, you're tired, and you're hungry. And now we're talking about mass deportation. Make it make sense. So since it doesn't make sense, I am not going to fall into the nonsensical rhetoric. What I am going to tap into is be grounded into what I was built for. And that means I have to understand, or I have an opportunity to understand my purpose, my calling, my skill set, my divine skill set, my love for community, my love for my beloveds, my unconditional positive regard, which is unconditional love. That does not mean that I have to love what these people are doing with the red hats. I don't have to engage, but I need to protect my heart, my mind, and my soul, because I am built for something greater. I cannot give them the energy that they are looking for. I can't give them the opportunity to try to tear me down. I can't give them the opportunity to have my life in their hands. I am concerned about my health care because I am in active treatment. And if you're talking about taking away the Affordable Care Act, which some people don't even realize it started with Obamacare and they changed it because how dare we name something after a black man? Good Lord. But they want to take that away from me. But what I need to do is make sure that I do due diligence. And I am talking with people like Dr. Jamie. I am part of Pink Robe Chronicles. I am talking with Mother Carolyn and my sister Tammy Denise and my daughter Kaisha and my son Eric, and planting seeds into my grandson Ethan, and talking with my cousins and my sisters about what we's gonna do. we going to do this? Let's name it. Even if we don't have the full answer, how we going to do this? How are we going to keep ourselves alive and safe and well, mind, body, and soul? You know how, beloveds? Because this is who we are. We are built for this. We have faced challenges seen and unseen. We have faced challenges from the inception of this country. We have faced challenges like, believe it or not, beloveds, we did have a life before coming here to these disunited states of America. And we were surviving and thriving. We had our villages and our tribes. We had our language. We had our griots. We had sage, beloveds. We had children. We enjoyed the land. We sang and we danced and we ate. And we did ritual, and we did drumming and chanting, and we did all of those things. Some in the name of Jesus, some in the name of Allah, some in the name of the Most High. Wherever you fall on the spectrum of African traditional religions, that happened before we came here. So we had something, and we still have something to hold on to, and it's called Sankofa. It's called reaching back and going back to fetch it, to give us what we need, because our ancestors have not only survived the transatlantic slave trade, not only survived being enslaved for years upon years, and being enslaved after it was deemed no more, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, Civil Rights Movement, Black Lives Matter, COVID, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, you name it, we are still here. We must have a mindset of abundance and survival and community and support that is not plastered all over social media, because now the supremacists are now wondering, well, what they doing? They mighty quiet. What are they up to? Yeah, you won't know what we're up to until we up to it. Until you truly see that we are built for this. We are built for this moment. We are built for this experience. No, it's not easy. It's not something we just get through. There's no timeline on it. Some of us get through it faster than others. But for 6 months, I have been in a personal challenge. And beloveds, I'm still here because I'm built for it. Not only because I'm from Harlem, not only because I'm representing Mashoud from Brooklyn, not only because I have an amazing village and tribe, amazing family and friends, but because of the divine. Because I was created for such a time as this, to fill a gap. And you were created to fill a gap. And you were created to fill a gap. And all of you were created to fill a gap. A gap so that now we are now whole as a community. Beloveds, we are built for this. We are built for this. Let us not be dismayed. Let us be reminded of the hymn, "It is well with my soul." Let us be reminded of the third stanza, and I closed out with this during my sermon on Sunday, of the third stanza of Lift Every Voice and Sing. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who has brought us thus far along the way, thou who has by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever on the path we pray, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee, lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God and true to our native land. Beloveds, we were built for this. Don't forget that. Whenever you get discouraged, just say to yourself, I'm built for this. Whenever you feel disheartened, just say, I'm built for this. I am both human and divine. God chose me and created me for such a time as this. So how can I not be built for this? The miracles seen and unseen, the ways that were made out of no way, the rivers in the deserts, the mountains that were moved. Oh, and if I can't move the mountain, give me the strength to climb. We are built for this, beloveds. Thank you for joining Tuesdays with Tawana. Every Tuesday, 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time, 30 minutes of your time, where we just chop it up and we build community, one womanist episode at a time. I am Dr. Tad, and I am honored to be your host and your curator for this moment. And hopefully tell a friend, share this, repost, like it, text it to somebody who might need to hear this word from this HER2 positive metastatic breast cancer survivor for 8 years, domestic violence survivor, born and raised in Harlem during the crack and gang epidemic, and I can go on, and I'm still here. We were built for this, beloved. Be encouraged, and I love you, and thank you for joining. I'm out. Later.